I'm meteorologist Bill Murray, and this is your AlabamaWx weather briefing video for this final Sunday of January 2025. It's January 26th, and we've got some warmer weather on tap for us here in Alabama, and that's nice. We'll take it. A little bit of rain, a lot of rain, really, over the next 2 weeks. Let's get into things. Let's look nationally. Not much going on. We've got those persistent freeze warnings in southeastern Georgia, northeastern Florida. Some high wind watches in the western portions of New York up there off of Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, and some lake effect snow warnings, some winter weather advisories in effect in those areas. Winter weather advisories in northern Colorado to the southeast of the Great Salt Lake. Lots of air stagnation advisories over the northwestern part of the United States, but we've got some wind advisories in southern Oregon, northern California, along with some winter weather advisories in the Sierras. Got a winter storm warning. Death Valley National Park above 4,500 feet, where some significant snows are expected. In the mountains east of San Diego there as well. And just generally some disturbed weather in California and over the southwestern United States. Let's go up top, about 18,000 feet, 500 millibars, and look at the pattern across North America. We've got lower pressures over the northeastern United States, eastern Canada. Bit of a flat ridge over the southeastern United States. That's not going to protect us from rainfall tonight. And we'll see why in just a minute. It's really because of that low pressure there over the northern part of the United States with the Great Lakes into the northeast. We've got that big bowling ball low out to the west in California, right off the California coast, bringing them to disturbed weather and some rainfall that is much needed in the Los Angeles area. I'm sure they will take it as we go through time here. We see that bowling ball low kind of ejects on out. This is by Monday afternoon. We've got a bit of a trough swinging through the Appalachians there into the mid-Atlantic states. That's going to push a cold front our way, and the momentum and the mass from that system will cause us some showers tonight into tomorrow. And we'll see that in just a minute. That's our first disturbance. A second disturbance later in the week will swing through the Great Lakes in the northeast. A bit stronger, but a bit further away. But it'll bring some showers there at midweek. This is Wednesday night. You see the big bowling ball low out west beginning to move out, and that's going to be some big snows for New Mexico. Parts of New Mexico could pick up 12 to 24 inches of snow, I think, starting Wednesday night into Thursday. It's going to be quite a messy winter storm for those folks. But some nice rains there in Southern California. Unfortunately, they'll cause some mudslides in the burn scar areas from the Palisades and Hughes fires, some of the other big fires in the Los Angeles area over the past couple of weeks. The upper low begins to sort of rotate through the central plains and weaken as it shifts onto the northeast. We've got ridging over Alabama, big subtropical ridge to the south over Cuba, the Bahamas, and in the western Caribbean. But another system swinging through the Rockies and into the Four Corners region as we get out toward the end of the period, hour 270, 288 by Friday the 7th. Look at that ridge of high pressure building over the eastern United States. That looks like it will spell some warmth for us here in Alabama. Let's go to the surface model, fans. GFS here, the 18Z run is what we'll use. We've got a few showers out to the west of Alabama this morning, and those are pretty close thanks to a cold front and that upper disturbance that's passing to our northeast. That activity will push into Alabama. It's going to begin to move into the western part of the state by late afternoon. It'll become more widespread as we go into the evening hours and then the overnight. This is 06Z around midnight tonight, showing fairly widespread shower activity. No thunderstorms expected. Could be some snows there over the Tennessee-Kentucky border into southern West Virginia, western Virginia, into western North Carolina, the Great Smokies. Still raining late tonight into early morning on Monday morning, and you see the showers begin to sort of diminish as we get into the early hours on Monday, pushing into southeastern Alabama during the afternoon. Expect clearing skies late in the day. I think they will stay probably mostly cloudy through the day as we get into Monday behind the front. Now, what I want to do now is kind of look at the temperatures up through Monday. This is values off the national blended models. Lows this morning looking like this, below freezing, really over about the northern half of Alabama. Temperatures ranging from about 26 up in Scottsboro, 31 in the Birmingham area. 31s are pretty commonplace there through central Alabama down to Montgomery, into Greenville, even down to Dothan. Now, later today, across Alabama, you can expect high temperatures to only make the middle 40s over the northern half of the state. You would have thought with the warmer conditions we had on Sunday, slightly warmer conditions, we made it in the lower 50s, that things would be warmer today. But really, the cloud cover is going to impede that. So we'll be in the upper 40s over the northwestern third of the area. The I-59, I-20 corridor gets into the lower and middle 50s. 60s are limited to south central Alabama. As we get into Monday morning, let's see what your temperatures are going to look like here. Middle 30s over the Tennessee Valley, 38 to 42 degrees in the I-20 corridor, low 40s over south central Alabama. And as we get towards your Monday, highs are going to look like this. We'll be generally in the 40s over the Tennessee Valley, low to mid 50s over central Alabama, with some 60s limited to southern portions of the state. Now, Tuesday morning, we start off quite chilly, temperatures below freezing, again, over about the northern third of Alabama, low to mid-30s over the south-central portion of the state. And Tuesday highs will be, Tuesday highs should be in the 50s generally across the area as we begin to see a bit of warm-up across the area. Now, this is what the surface chart should look like Tuesday. We should be dry, increasing sunshine during the day, and that's going to allow for those warmer temperatures. As we go through the day on Tuesday, you see we stay dry. Now, by Wednesday, a few showers begin to break out over the Tennessee Valley. That's that next disturbance to the northeast of us, that wave going through, the rising motion associated with it, causing that precipitation over the Tennessee Valley. There during the morning hours, it kind of drifts to the south according to the GFS during the day, but never really amounts to anything. You can see, though, things are really starting to get ramped up out west. Remember that upper low. It's beginning to eject. Look at the snows there over New Mexico by Wednesday night, especially increasing near to the east of Albuquerque, but look to the east of that over Texas. Widespread rains into Louisiana. I imagine there could be some thunder out that direction, but as it gets into Alabama, I don't think we'll have to deal with that. High pressure center over southern Illinois there as we get into Thursday morning. A few showers working their way into southwest Alabama. But I think most of Alabama is dry through the morning hours and through most of the day on Thursday, maybe the western part of the state. But Thursday night, a few showers begin to break out over the northern third of the state, and those are with us as we get into Friday morning. And you begin to see this kind of pattern. We got this surface high centered over southern New York, 1,040 millibars, and an accompanying high just down to the south around Savannah, Georgia. And that's kind of going to hold all this activity at bay as we go through time. So this really can't get a good foothold as we go through Friday. Rain showers will be likely over the northwestern half of Alabama into Saturday morning. You see it slowly sinks to the south during the day. I think Saturday's a rainy, chilly day. The GFS has us in the 50s. You'll see in a minute that the National Blend of Models thinks it'll be quite a bit warmer, well into the 60s. We'll see how that works out. But I think Saturday is a cold and rainy day. Probably a good day to put on a pot of chili and just watch some basketball. As we get through Saturday night, we get to move. The rain begins to move out, but we don't really get rid of it. We've got showers hanging out into Sunday. That front just can't clear out the air mass. And unfortunately, a few showers stay with us into Sunday. Now, we're turning the page going into week 2. You see, showers are still in the forecast. And they're all liquid, no wintry precipitation over Alabama. Another big round of rain for Monday night into Tuesday, and that's generally, again, affecting areas to the west. But look, some colder temperatures brings some wintry precipitation from western Kentucky down through much of the state of Arkansas into northeastern Texas on Tuesday night, the 4th. And as we go through time, that could be a significant ice storm for Arkansas. If it continues to portend. We've got a cold rain here in Alabama that Wednesday night. It continues into Thursday. We get a little bit of drying there, but another round of rain by Friday the 7th, Saturday the 8th, and you begin to get the idea that the rainfall could be pretty significant. Some showers there on the weekend of the 8th and 9th, and they continue all the way out to the end of the forecast period here on Monday the 10th. Now here's a look at the HRRR showing the projected radar for 6 a.m. for your Sunday morning, showing showers to the west of us over Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, and into Texas. As we go through time today, this is 16Z, about 10 o'clock. Those showers are nearing the Mississippi border, working their way into western Alabama, but I think they'll stay over the western and northwestern portion of the state through much of the day, perhaps reaching the Birmingham area there around 1, 2 o'clock. But you see those showers are fairly light and not very widespread. More widespread activity to the west there, generally Greenville, Greenwood, Mississippi, back to Jackson, Mississippi, heavier showers over Louisiana into southeastern Texas. As we get into tonight, this is 6 p.m., Sunday night, showing that round of rain to our west is beginning to work its way into Alabama, and really by 10 p.m. the rain has become fairly widespread. We'll have several hours of moderate to occasionally heavy showers overnight tonight. This is 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and moving through time, they begin to thin out a little bit to the northwest. Here's by 6 a.m. Monday morning. We got a few hours left here on the HRRR output. The activity has pushed into southern Alabama there by mid-morning on Monday, and it is slowly moving on out as we go through the day. Now let's talk temperature anomalies off the GFS, showing cooler conditions right now across Alabama, and they stay that way into the middle part of the week. But you see a warm-up begins here in earnest by Wednesday and Thursday, and that's going to lead to warmer than normal temperatures. Boy, that'll be a welcome respite from the cold that we've had recently, and it stays that way, through the first of the month. A little bit cooler there around Sunday the 2nd and the 3rd, behind that stronger system, and the temperatures begin to warm back up as we head toward the 3rd and 4th. Now, let's take a look at precipitation. This is first round. This is really through Monday. This would be through Monday afternoon, generally showing somewhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch. A few lucky spots maybe getting 6/10 of an inch of rain out of this system. We fast forward to our next system, which really begins in earnest over the weekend. Here by Saturday, our let's say noon on Saturday, our 48-hour amounts could be 2 1/4 inches according to the GFS. Now to the west, some much heavier amounts. You see that band there, 6 7 inches from the Meridian, Mississippi area down to Macomb into the Hammond area, and west of St. Francisville area, west of New Orleans. So some heavier rainfall amounts there on the 48-hour totals. You see pegging about 3 inches there over central Alabama. In that period, and then moving on out, we get another heavy band that develops over northwest Alabama around the 4th through the 6th, and we move that on out with a heavy band really in the I-20 corridor there around the 6th through the 8th. So you get the idea. There may be some fairly heavy rainfall amounts, and we really need to be making hay while the sun shines, proverbially. It's a good time to rack up those rain totals for sure. And then, by the end of the period, if the GFS is right, everybody could get some pretty generous rainfall amounts. Most of the state getting, somewhere between 3 and 7 inches of rain. Maybe a few folks somewhere there across central Alabama could get some heavy amounts, somewhere in the 8 to 10 inch, maybe even 12 inch category over that 16-day period. We'll just have to kind of see, how that plays out. We got a ways to go to know whether that's going to happen or not. This is the National Blend of Models showing the temperature trends over the state. Really, this is Birmingham, is what we're going to use as our representative. 50 today, 52 tomorrow. Will be 57 on Tuesday. Maybe tipping out near 60 on Wednesday. That'd be nice. Fall back just a little bit on Thursday behind that weak system. And then we slowly march again. 62 on Friday, 64 on Saturday, 71 on Sunday. But that's the National Blend of Models. Now, you remember we were working off the GFS deterministic there, and it's quite a bit cooler. Matter of fact, it's a lot cooler. It's in the 40s today, so a little bit of a cool bias here. 48 tomorrow. 57 on Tuesday, maybe 63, on Wednesday. We'll take that. Fall back a little bit on Thursday. That's consistent. 65 on Friday. Now calling for 62 on Saturday. Earlier today, it had us around 58. So, looks like it maybe won't be as cold or cool or, yucky as I thought on Saturday, even though it will be wet. We fall back behind that system. We gradually march up, looking for February the 5th and 6th. That Wednesday and Thursday, we could be in the 70s. We will take it if we get it. Well, that's your weather briefing video for this Sunday the 26th. I'll have notes on the blog, complete update on the forecast coming up at noon. We'll check out weather nationally, see if we see anything interesting across the area. James will be back with 2 days tomorrow. Scott will be here next Saturday, and until I get to sit in this seat next Sunday, as I always tell you, keep an eye to the sky, because you'll always have something fun to look at.